Hi, I'm Kat. Welcome to Feeding My Fam 5. I'll be showing you what I've made for our weekly family suppers, and I'll also share some highlights from the week. Thanks for joining me on my second video. Every week before I begin to put our meal plan together, I like to ask my family what it is they want to see on the menu for that week. My husband and daughter usually have a couple of contributions on what they'd like to have. Son number one could really care less. Son number two, as long as I have some sort of pasta on the menu, he's good with that. And regardless of what I do put on my weekly menu, they're not always so straightforward. This one doesn't eat this, so they get this. The other only eats this brand, but everybody else likes this brand. It can get pretty silly sometimes, but I like to make sure everybody has something that they like, even if it does mean I may be cooking 3 different meals for one supper. I also like to write out my menus on paper first. My husband kind of thinks I'm kind of crazy like that, but I don't feel the same sense of getting it out of my head as I do if I were to type it out first. That pretty much goes for anything I do: menus, trip planning, packing lists, and just general don't forget lists. I have lists of lists. I guess you could say it's cathartic for me because once I get it out of my head, so to speak, I can move on with something else. Monday night is date night, and this time my husband and I went to the Longhorn. We started out with soups. I had the French onion, and he had the lobster bisque. For our main, we split a medium rare ribeye. Their steaks come with 2 sides, so I got the salad in balsamic vinegar, and my husband went with the fries. Then it was on to our most favorite place to go on date night, Barnes & Noble. We have mourned the loss of Borders, I kid you not, for 20 years. And here we are in my favorite section in the whole store, the cookbooks. I love Ina and Ree. I have so many of their cookbooks. But in the end, I practiced restraint and only came home with 2 magazines. I love date night. So back at home for Tuesday night, I made a roast chicken. And when I make whole chickens, I really like to spatchcock them because this right here is about a 6 pound chicken. And it only took me about maybe an hour, hour and 10 minutes in the air fryer. I made mashed potatoes and gravy, buttered noodles, and Parmesan roasted broccoli and carrots. We start off with my husband's plate, and his is pretty sparse, but he did have a big salad prior to coming to the table. And onto my plate, I didn't get a salad, but I did have a few veggies. Son number one, he doesn't like green and he doesn't like gravy. Son number two, nothing green, but a big enthusiast on gravy. And our daughter, she likes everything, very easy to please. And on to Wednesday night, I dry roasted a chuck roast and made some mushroom rice to go with it. Both sons had homemade Alfredo, and I know what y'all are thinking. That roast really looks burnt, but actually, this is how we kind of like it sometimes. I just cook it to death with onions, and it just strings apart. This is my husband's plate, and he had a salad while he was waiting for supper, which I actually took a video of it, but unfortunately, I filmed it the wrong way. And this is mine. I had a little bit of everything, and I cannot pass up homemade Alfredo. This is son number two's plate. He doesn't eat chuck roast, so he had Alfredo, of course. Son number one's plate was a duplicate of this one, but he was late home from work, so his plate was in the oven. And then our daughter's plate. She's like me. She likes a little of everything and a little colorful tomato to top it off. Before we get to Thursday, I wanted to share my one good thing this week with y'all. If you missed it last week, every night we go around the table sharing one good thing that happened from that day for us, whether it's like, I don't know, I swam 3,000 yards today and I didn't die, or I saw tulips coming up in the front flower bed. But on Saturday, my husband, son number two, and daughter went for a really nice 2 mile walk in a state park that's not too far from us. Son number one, unfortunately, had to work, so he couldn't join us, but I know that he would have loved this place. The weather was overcast, but it was almost warm. We walked down by the river and then that runs through the park and then past a beautiful waterfall. The park wasn't too busy at all, and we walked on paths and we found trails to follow. It was just a nice day overall, and we'll definitely be marking this spot to come back to. So, what was your one good thing today? If you want to share it, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment below. All right, back to our meals and Thursday. I grilled hamburgers and cheeseburgers and toasted some buns. We just had potato chips to go with that. Of course, you'll see buttered noodles and a rotisserie chicken there as well. My husband doesn't like cheese on his burgers usually, and so he goes with mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard. He also nabbed a chicken leg from the rotisserie. For my burger, I'm a cheese girly with nice crisp lettuce, red onion, mayonnaise, and I like to dip my burger in my ketchup. Son number 2, of course, he did chicken and buttered noodles. He used to really like hamburgers, but lately he's gone off of them. I think it's the texture. And my daughter with her tomato, onion, crispy lettuce, and barbecue sauce. Son number 1 was at work, and his is just a plain cheeseburger waiting for him in the oven for when he gets home from work. So for Friday, all right, this is supper tonight. I was watching Brenda Gant, and she made some delicious looking sauteed spinach. I was like, that just sounds really good. So that's my plate, and then daughter's plate. My sweet husband, he doesn't eat spinach, so he gets bacon on top. And middle son, he doesn't eat baked potato or spinach, so he gets Bob Evans mac and cheese. And son number 1 doesn't eat pork chops or baked potatoes or sauteed spinach, so he gets pizza. It's just pizza. It's one of those pizza crusts, just roll ones, I think. Anyway, so that's our supper. We have some bread to go with it as well, but I don't have it on the table yet. All right, that's tonight. So Saturday, we left the park and ran by the grocery store and came home with some easy suppers. My husband and son wanted salmon, so I popped theirs into the air fryer and baked it. At the store, we had picked up some lemon roasted potatoes and regular little roasted potatoes off the hot bar. But of course, son number 2 wanted Jarfredo with his. My daughter's choice from the hot bar was butter chicken curry with samosas. Unfortunately, she's the only one in the house that likes them, so when she gets the opportunity for a curry, she does not hesitate. For me, I brought home their mac and cheese and barbecued brisket. Son number 1 was working a party, so he was fed there. Right. And finally, Sunday lunch, and my other good thing, and this is a very good thing. Happy 23rd birthday to the baby of our family, our daughter. For her birthday meal, she wanted tacos, so I made shrimp, steak, and carnitas. On Saturday, I ran to our little Mexican market and grabbed the carnitas. They make fresh every Saturday. I put my steaks on to marinate, and my good friend brought over some homemade rice. It was divine. On Sunday, I warmed up the carnitas, grilled the steaks, made the slaw for the shrimp, and fried the chips. Lunch was so good, even if I say so myself. I think we were all a little bit stuffed after this. It was a delicious way to round out our week and celebrate our girl. So that was our week here with the Fam 5. I'd love to know what you cook for your family in the week. If you'd like to share it, please send me a photo of your home-cooked meal to Kat at feedingmyfam5.com with the subject line Fam Meal. Let me know what it was. Is it a requested meal, a new recipe, maybe even an heirloom recipe that comforts you? I'll pick one submission every week to feature here, and I can't wait to hear from you. Once again, thank you for joining me. I tried to get this out for Monday. Hopefully I'll get faster at this editing thing for the next week. If you enjoyed my video, please consider liking and subscribing. Again, I have enjoyed this so much. Thanks again, y'all, and until next week, y'all wash your hands and come on.